sure that we never wanted for the necessities. We always had clothes to wear on our backs and shoes on our feet. They may not have been covered in brand names, but we had something, and that was better than nothing. She made sure that Trish and I never went hungry, although sometimes she didn't get to eat herself. Mama never fixed her plate first, and she always pretended to keep busy by cleaning up the kitchen until she was certain that we'd had enough and didn't want seconds. "Aren't you going to eat, Mama?" Trish and I would often ask her. "You girls go ahead. I'm not that hungry right now. If I get hungry after I'm finished cleaning up, I might eat something," she'd say, without looking up from the dishes in the sink. She never looked at us when she told us that. I guess she didn't want to lie to our faces. When we got older, we realized that might meant she'd only eat if there was any food left over. Might wasn't based upon her hunger. Of course she was hungry. She worked 2 jobs. But hungry or not, she'd go without if need be. Her only concern was that my sister and I go to bed with full bellies. Anything short of that, and she felt she'd failed us. Mama never failed us, though. Our lights were never cut off, our water never ran dry, and our house was always clean. No, we didn't have a lot of money, but we had a great mother and we had each other. That was all we needed. You know what they say, though? A good thing doesn't last forever, and our happiness ended when I was only 8. Trish would take care of me while our mother worked as a cashier in a convenience store on the weekends. She still always tried not to put too much on Trish. She didn't want Trish to feel like I was her responsibility, so when Trish would ask to spend the night at one of her friends' houses, Mama would automatically say yes, which meant I would have to go to work with her. I hear that bell to this day in my dreams. It's a sound that I can never forget. One day, when Mama had to take me to work with her, I was lying behind the counter, drifting into a comfortable sleep, when I heard the bell signal that a customer walked into the store. Mama had already taught me to stay hidden so that she wouldn't lose her job. The last thing she needed was for the customers to start reporting to her boss that she was bringing her little girl into work. But it was either that, leave me at home alone, or leave me out in the car. That is a hard choice that single moms all over the world still have to make on a daily basis. It wasn't the first time that I'd been to her job, so I knew to stay out of sight. I ran back into the storage room and peeked out from around some boxes as I watched the man who entered the store. Everything was normal for a minute, until I heard the harsh demand of a male voice. "Give me all the money in the cash register." Instinctively, my young body froze in horror. I immediately knew that Mama was in trouble. She grabbed a bag from behind the counter, leaving out the spiel store clerks were trained to ask regarding paper or plastic. She chose plastic out of habit because that's what most people requested. "Hurry up, before I blow your head off," was his second command, right before his third. "Put all of the money in the bag." I cringed at the sound of the voice. I was so afraid that I peed on myself, the warm liquid drenching my legs as I shook involuntarily. I knocked over some empty boxes, causing the intruder to look toward the back room where I was hidden. I quickly dipped back behind the boxes before he could see me, and then just barely peeked with one eye. "What was that?" the man screamed as he pointed a gun in Mama's face. "Nothing. Probably rats," she said nervously. Her voice shook, and I could see her eyes searching for me. The man noticed it too and stepped to the back of the store. "Who is back there?" he yelled. "No!" my mother screamed as she ran from behind the counter and grabbed the man in her attempt to halt him. It was the loudest thing I'd ever heard. My ears popped instantly, and everything in the store sounded muffled as I watched in horror.